All right, so we got Wingspan. Wingspan because Agricola quitter happened is the new stream title. All right, so yeah, I've had a good bit of success in Wingspan, and did one stream of it, which seemed pretty popular when I posted it onto YouTube. So, and then a lot of people asking for it here. Where should chat go? I'm not sure where I should put chat. Probably should just. Oh, that's not the right window. Okay, I think I can figure out my starting hand pretty quick, so. Oh god. Is Wingspan good for casual players? Yes. Okay, if you don't know the rules of Wingspan, it's relatively straightforward. You get a set number of actions each game. 8 in stage 1, 7 in stage 2, 6 in stage 3, 5 actions in stage 4. All your actions have to be either play, gain food, lay eggs, or draw bird cards. It's a pretty strong starting hand. So, birds with pink powers activate on other people's turns. This Eastern Kingbird is like super duper good in round 1 because people need to play birds in the forest early to just set up any kind of reasonable good game. Gift buying season, Wingspan's great. I also saw it was on sale. Okay, some bookkeeping. I discarded a weak bonus card. Red discarded a somewhat weak bonus card and one good bird. Blue discarded one pretty good bird and a bad bonus card. Red drew a bird for the forest, which is good for my future. Can I, like... Trying to make this so I can, like, see the... this isn't ideal, but it's good enough. Alright, nobody played a forest bird on turn 1. Blue played this bird in the wetland, which I think is a pretty bad idea generally. I think playing it in the middle row is okay. And I'll try to get to some strategy once I escape my opening here. I'm just gonna take a single rat as my turn, which is not super strong. But I do need the rat eventually. I'm gonna undo that. I'm gonna lay 2 eggs. Okay, so in general, the strategy in base game Wingspan is that in the game design, a die, a food die, a egg, and a card all kind of count as resources. And the activating stuff in your middle row, the lay eggs row, just comes with 1 extra resource compared to all the other rows. So if you can manage to put a big combo in the middle row, especially if your combo gets you help with cards or food, you're in fantastic shape. That's like the best possible thing you could do strategically is get food and cards in your middle row. You will almost always have strong games doing that. if you don't have food from your middle row, then you basically need to, like, I would be playing the woodpecker that blue has in the middle row. They're getting a seed every time they take the action, which is good. I just wouldn't be doing that in the wetland. I'd be doing that in the grassland. The overall bonuses every round are good to aim for if you can. But every round, the top score, the top score is 3 more than the second place score is 1 more than the third place score. So the differences are not quite as big as they initially appear. What are the other bonuses this game? Total birds with eggs in a ground nest, eggs in cavity nests, and then sets of eggs in each habitat. Alright, the 3 birds in the tray aren't particularly strong. I mean, the peregrine falcon could be good. And I'd like to play this Carolina Wren, which lets me draw 2 cards after I see cards that I want in the tray instead of blind drawing. So I'm going to play the Forster's turn right now instead of the Carolina Wren. I'm still expecting to get free food when more forest birds get played. Red played this Hermit Thrush, which won't have any useful ability until blue also plays a forest bird. Yeah, I would describe my setup as quite strong here. I have early birds that don't cost a lot of food, meaning I get to build up my engine a lot quicker. I'm just gonna lay eggs again. The star nest can be anything, so this round it's gonna be bowl. And then I get to use my Harrier ability for the first time. And it fails the hunt. Really dislike the cards fewest played X in the biome. Yeah, I don't think those are good cards. Alright, red not playing in the forest. Playing a common Merganser in the wetland. You want to take as few actions doing one thing as possible. Those are not good actions. So to like get your engine started is usually what you want to do. Trying to like guess what my opponents are doing, and I don't really have a guess at what they're doing. I think my opponent's not playing cards in the forest is just handicapping their own games in the long run. Alright, I don't need to lay eggs again. I could take a single food, but I've already described that as a weak action. I could spend an egg to draw these cards, which is not great, but I'm thinking I'll just do it anyway. What cards do I even want, though? I could lay eggs again. Feels kinda lame. But I don't want to take a single food when I can probably afford this. Alright, I'm laying eggs again. I'm doing a 2 resource move instead of a 1 resource move, and I might get a bonus point here. I do. Harrier hunt successful. 1 out of 2. I don't know the exact probability for the hunting cards less than 75 centimeters wingspan, but I think it's decent. Alright. Blue's gonna keep playing in the wetland, setting up a wetlands engine. This doesn't look particularly strong. I do use the 1 egg for 1 card, and I'm gonna be using it here. I don't think I like any of these birds enough. The Peregrine Falcon's probably the best in the center row, but not that great. I like drawing this. It's not looking like my Kingbird's fantastic this game, but if it gets better, then the Cuckoo should be quite good. And this could be good. Ooh, Burrowing Owl I like a lot. The ability kind of sucks, but 5 points, Star Nest, holding 4 items is quite good. I think I'm just gonna, like, toss this Cuckoo right now. You play around with the zoom a little more. There. Alright, the way the bonuses work is that ties are unfriendly rounding, so I got 4 points bonus, and even though my opponents tied, they split 1 point between the two of them, rounded down. Hey, that's great. Also great is that the Mourning Dove I'm a big fan of, but unfortunately it got drawn by blue. That happens. The bonus card I have. Yeah, I should aim a little more towards the abilities that let you tuck, because I did choose the bonus card for that, didn't I? I sure did. So I am jealous of this House Finch. It would be 2 more points for me than what's printed. Alright, I should just play the Egret or the Carolina Wren. Not a huge fan of... I mean, these birds are good. Like the ones that let you draw bonus cards. They're definitely good. I'm not the biggest fan of the Condor, but... it'll do. I'll think... I'm gonna draw 1 from the deck and probably the Condor. I don't think anyone in this game has enough food to justify a Whooping Crane. This Pelican, normally not that great, but when it comes with 2 extra points, could be pretty good. The Condor should be good this round because it has a ground nest, and the ground nests are coming as the bonus this round. I think food for a rat and a fish is a good move here. It gets my Burrowing Owl close to ready once someone else plays a forest bird, and it's half of what I need for the Pelican. Maybe I should just take the 2 fish, though, while they're here. That might be a better play. We get a forest play from blue, so I do get to get a green food here. It's exciting. Generally, trying to max out a bonus like this is not very good. Tucking a food for 2 points is, like, surprisingly not great compared to what it might sound like at first. It's still fine, but... Okay, I'm gonna take the rat and the fish. I'll prioritize the burrowing owl in the grassland over the pelican in the wetland. I've played a little Race for the Galaxy. I think when I've played Race, I've played with players who are quite experienced. And that's made it hard to, like, fully understand the best strategies, even though, like, my opponents are doing them. Not getting a chance to play the strong strategies out for myself. Because they're just not available by the time it's my turn. Alright, so once I play the burrowing owl and the condor, I have 5 moves, so I can get up to 3 ground nest birds at the end of this round. 1 for this opponent, none for this opponent, so I don't really need to rush out the pelican to... Ooh, I get a food from the bird feeder, thank you. Smooth, one of the race veterans. Now we've got food actions from both opponents. Morning Dove is a great card to have in the forest. Getting eggs in the forest is a really strong combo if you can find it, but it's really just the Morning Dove and, like, one other card that really does this well. Okay, I think I just go in and play the burrowing owl, because I think my condor is going to be played in the forest. For the flexible location birds, my MO is to, early on, play them in the forest to get to your 2 food actions. But if you have any other source of food, like a pink power, or someone else has played a card that will give everyone a food once in a while, I don't usually like to juice up my forest actions too much. See, I'm getting more stuff. Fish. Hey, Kung Ming. Yeah, so, never draft Birdcage. But, yeah, we had a quitter. Two cards in a row for blue, which means they get their first ground nest and their second ground nest. So the fact that I have more ground nests coming, it's pretty good. I did get the 2 fish for the pelican, so I am just gonna play it. Yeah. Keep giving me food, and I will take fish. Because I can convert fish to 2 points. Though, again, before the end of the game, that's a little speculative. So yeah, I think I've done a really good job picking up pretty good point value on birds that don't cost much food. I mean, these 4 were opening hand options. I don't usually keep 4 of my starting cards. This time I did. And I'm just gonna play the condor now. I don't really see a reason not to. I expect to play it at some point. It'll take me to 4 ground nests birds, which should like easily win this. Let's see what bonus cards I get. Oh, not great. I'm not going to be playing more forest cards, and I need to play 2 forest-only birds to hit the low level here. And I have 2 star nests for this platform builder already, and a platform, so I should be able to hit the low tier easily. No, the birds that say you can play another in the same in a path, you have to do the same path as you started on. All right, red is taking a very odd combination of food. They're taking a lot of fruit. Oh my god, am I getting fish here? Oh no, I'm not, because I don't qualify for hermit thrush anymore. That's the first time I've ever gotten into that. I've like never had to consider this before in like 100-something games. I've never had to consider I shouldn't play something in a habitat because then I'm not qualified for this weirdo bonus. That is a rule that needs to be clarified in like, I think the forums, Zach, so I wouldn't worry that you missed it. It's just like... Okay. What am I up to here? Taking 2 fish looks fun. That is just 4 points later. One of my next 2 actions needs to be lay eggs, so that I can win the round bonus. Why should I not take 2 fish here? I don't see a reason. One other little extra thing I get by taking food is if neither of my opponents take food, there will be 4 dice in the bird feeder to roll with my burrowing owl, which is a odds increase of about 20 or 30% to get a point there. So lay 1 egg on all my ground birds, fail that roll, succeed on the hunt, win the round bonus. I mean, I feel like I should win this relatively easily. I've got a pretty good setup here. If I can get this bronzed cowbird, I think that would be ideal. I am a fan of the cowbirds, laying eggs in bull nests when other people lay eggs. Red doesn't seem to be high on egg laying, but red is just not playing many cards in general. Forest bird, that's a free food for me. Yes, please. So yeah, let me... I can even consider the violet green swallow now, because of that extra food I got. It's a little expensive. It does... I don't need help with this round bonus. I have 11 capacity in cavity nests already. 6 there. 8 here. So the nest type doesn't really matter. In terms of a last round bonus, it looks like my wetland needs help with capacity. I don't really want to play this in my wetland, though. So I think I skipped the violet green swallow. As good at... Well, actually, no, it comes with 5 points. I forgot. I just realized it comes with 2 extra points. Silly me. I'm drawing from the deck just because I'm going to use the Forster's turn ability to take the cowbird. And I'm going to toss this random card that I got because I'm not planning to play in the forest anymore. Alright, so I would like a seed for this cowbird. Red took the Wingspan box art bird. This is your tailed flycatcher. Blue's taking food. I think my next play will be to throw the violet-green swallow in the grassland. If I am playing it, I should get it out fast. And I'm gonna see if I can get a free seed somehow. That's never happening, is it? It's never happening, but I'll wait till the bird feeder actually looks good for it. Alright, so my engine is pretty well fleshed out already. If I didn't think I was winning before, I think I'm very clearly winning now. I think I want to draw more cards before laying eggs, just so I have some trash to cycle through this violet-green swallow. I still plan on playing my Snowy Egret because it's my 4th platform nest, which will get me 4 extra points. So this is kind of like an 8-point bird. Still vaguely hoping to get free invertebrates from the Eastern Kingbird here, or just free invertebrates when Red's laying eggs. That'd be cool. Got a bunting from Blue. This one lays eggs in bowl birds, and I have plenty of bowl capacity. Yeah, star nest birds are great in some games. Some games they're just like, meh, but this is one of the great games with 3 of the round bonuses being nest type based. I'm just gonna draw from the deck here. I'm not a fan of any of these. Black Tern is just straight up better than the Snowy Egret, depending on what you think of the ability. I do like the Great Blue Heron. But I think its net value to me this game is quite low. It's probably better than the Mergansers, though. So the thing about this heron is that I could use the food elsewhere. Like, every fish I have is already worth 2 points when I draw cards. And then this lets me play a 4th bird, which is going to cost 2 eggs itself to play stuff in the 4th column. So what I'm really seeing, this 5-point value, I'm mentally turning that into a 1 point of net value, which is not very exciting. Would I rather have the Black Tern ability or the Snowy Egret ability? I don't think it's going to matter much. The thing the Great Blue Heron will do is increase my egg capacity in the wetland without extra plays, which is worth considering for the round 4 overall bonus. Though Blue's already got a really great setup for that, so it might not be worth contesting, honestly. Still no seed in the bird feeder, that's unfortunate too. And to only be rolling 1 die on the burrowing owl means I have a 17% chance of a point instead of like a 30 or 40% one. That shouldn't matter. Alright, we're aiming for eggs and cavities here. The star nests do count, but the star nests can be filled by the cowbird later, so I'm going to save that. I am going to toss the egret because the black tern I think is just as good. I'm not doing both. Still unsure about the heron. Kill the other cowbird. Okay, I'm never playing this card. This is just a weird card that isn't too good. Got a great egret and a king rail. Nice sequence there from red. That's a strong pair of cards to play. I would say until the end of the game, don't discard food to lay eggs. I think out of the raw resources, food is the best. Like, food can be converted to like 2 to 3 points when you play birds. So like birds with bad abilities, you can get 3 or more points for 1 food each. Whereas birds with good abilities, the food to point ratio is worse. So like the violet-green swallow has a really good ability, so 1.5 points per food on the card itself. That's my interpretation. I've got 6 eggs and cavities right now, 1 there. 4 or 5 there, so it's close between me and blue, so I should do this to get tempo, I think. Sure, let's put them all on the Carolina Wren. Tuck the oyster catcher. Ooh. Oh, and we hit the 16% hunt. And we hit the Harrier Hunt. That's an amazing move. This Purple Martin with my bird counter bonus card is glorious. Also, it's just a great card overall. I might not be playing my cowbird now. It just won't be worth taking the food action to get a seed. When I can play this Purple Martin and get a bunch of points on my future lay eggs actions. To be fair, there aren't too many actions left. But also because of that, the cowbird is less good. It doesn't have any nest. And egg capacity is starting to be a bit of a problem for me. So I'm aiming for like 2nd and 3rd place. There isn't a huge difference on the round 4 goal. And based on blue's turn here, I'll see they play a bird. I'll see how I'm doing on the round bonus. I think I'm just already winning, so I have a free move here, or a move not committed to a bonus action, round bonus action. So my plan is to play the Purple Martin, tuck the cowbird and whatever I keep drawing, probably play the black tern, and I'll see if I can find time to play the heron. That is my end game here. I should check this. It won't matter. It will not matter. I'm checking anyway. 1, 2, 5, 1. Yeah, Purple Martin, in my opinion, is one of the best possible birds you can have in your grassland. This might just be the best ability in a vacuum. Tuck and draw. There are some abilities which give you more points at a time, but they're harder to set up. Alright, I have a big lead. I think I'm going to keep building that lead. Yeah, I only have 3 right now. I don't think I want any of these birds. The American Avocet's okay, but it's a little late to be good. We have another tucking bird, but this one's like probably not worth playing, is my judgment. So goodbye, American Robin. All right, so for those of you following along, that was a 7-point move. 4 eggs, 2 tucks, and a hunt. Hello, Hades. So setting up 7-point moves, a big reason you want to be like doing good stuff in your grassland. Because having a default 7-point move until you run out of nest capacity is really strong. Speaking of running out of nest capacity, I am going to be there pretty soon. I actually am going to take a food move here because I can afford the heron and black tern sequence. So that means I'm taking food, I'm playing birds, and I'm laying eggs twice to end my game. That seems good. And I have this extra bird to just cycle through. Yeah, Hades, you're a clay supporter of my channel. This game is not using OP birds. In my opinion, they are very much OP. Good, yeah, absolutely. Alright, as said, I'm gonna take 2 fish here. That'll help me afford my heron and my tern. So, yeah, I can't take too many more 7-point moves because I don't have the nest capacity to hold those eggs. That's actually not true. I barely had enough for 2. So my nests are not going to be totally full. I am getting a bit of a boost off of Blue's Lazuli bunting, just giving me an egg every time they lay, but that's not huge. They were the reason you sold your copy. Oh no, you could have just taken them out of the deck. Are you planning on streaming Caverna? I'm not planning on streaming Caverna. I've played the game like 5 times in person. It was at a convention where the people didn't want to play Agricola. It was alright. I thought it was far off Agricola. I felt like all of my moves that I was taking were like so close in total value to each other that it almost didn't matter. And maybe that wasn't actually the case, but that's what it felt like. Sometimes the OP birds are fun to play with. Yes. I would say that you should play with them until you know how to exploit them for huge scores. But once you can exploit them for huge scores, there's nothing more you can do. With your enjoyment of the game. Looks like Blue will be pretty close to... What is that? Like 10 sets of eggs? I can't compete with that. Yeah, the OP ones are where you discard an egg, which are the default easiest to get resource to get 2 food of your choice or draw 2 cards. So there are 2 birds that do each of those. Total of 4 busted cards. The common raven and the Chihuahuan raven allow you to discard an egg for 2 food of your choice, and they can be played in the grasslands. And then the killdeer and the Franklin's gull can also be played in the grasslands. Both of those let you discard a card for, or discard an egg for 2 cards. Doesn't really matter where I take these eggs off of because I'm laying eggs twice to end the game here. And I'll be getting a very easy 2nd place. It's going to be basically impossible to catch blue on the sets of eggs. It'll be basically impossible to do worse than red on the sets of eggs. And the fact that I'm up 18 already, I have a bonus worth 6, I have a bonus worth 4. Should be a very... And I have 2, like, 7 to 8 point moves coming in. 6 to 8 point moves, I should say. This hunt is not guaranteed. It's like 5 for 7, 5 for 6 right now. 5 for 7, probably. It usually seems to do somewhere between 2/3 and 3/4 success rate. It's a pretty good ability. Alright, so I have 5 eggs up top, 2 in the middle, 3 below. I have 8 more eggs incoming. So I can get up to 18 eggs, which means 6 each. I could have just looked here. My total eggs is 10. I can get to 18. I should get 6 sets. I'm not planning to draw any more bonus cards, so there's no other specific things I need to do with egg location. I can kind of choose willy-nilly. As long as I don't, like, fill up all my bowl nests, that would be a mistake. Because I want to make sure I can receive the Lazuli Bunting extras if I'm given them. And I don't need to defend against any of those cards. Those are all decent early and useless late. Hey, we hit that hunt again. And we hit that hunt. We're at 82. We're getting 6 or 8 more from our next move to get us to somewhere between 88 and 90. Getting 4 bonus to 94, and then 10, so I'm getting 104. 102 to 104. Pretty good score. And a food tiebreaker. I guess maybe even higher if we get another Bullbird proc. Okay, 6, 6, 6. The number of the beast. Thanks, Silver. Yeah, this one worked out pretty well. I did have a very strong starting hand. I mean, getting the Kingbird in first seat. Tohi is one of my favorite cards. It gets played in the grass and can give you a seed every time. So good early, the spotted towhee. And we hunt the ruddy duck. So, 103, maybe 104. Maybe 105. Is blue not getting a ton of sets of eggs? They only have 4 down there, 5 and 5. They can only lay 6 eggs. I think I'm actually tying for first on the round bonus because blue didn't lay enough eggs this round. I think that's a mistake for them. Yeah, I think this Avocet, even though it gives them a couple free eggs in the endgame, I think it's overall worse than just laying eggs twice for them. So that's the thing you want to watch out for when you're calculating your endgame is like, don't give up the end of round bonuses to do other stuff. And remember the opportunity cost of these last 2 columns is 2 eggs each. Pretty expensive. Bonus. Yeah, I got an extra point there, so 105. Pretty good. I think my opponents were not that experienced. Oh yeah, it's totally fine to draft 0-point birds. I think if you can play 0-point birds with great abilities in round 1, that's like awesome. There are a few birds that are definitely worth low base points. Because you also want to factor in like how many ability points they're giving you. So like the towhee is giving you the ability to get a food when you're taking eggs. So the default best resource action and giving you the hardest to get resource. I mean, you can value the food at like 2 points each. So if you're activating the towhee like 7 times, it's giving you like 14 total points in the game. And not needing you to take forest actions, which are kind of the worst in a lot of ways. The highest scores that I get are almost always when I don't have to take the forest action very much. Like, I probably took forest action 3 or 4 times this game and not more. I got to take eggs a ton. I was mostly playing and laying eggs. I was lucky to get a lot of cheap birds. Like, I have no 3 food cost birds, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 birds that only cost 1 food. 1 bird that doesn't cost any food at all. So my game is very food efficient, which is the way it should be for high scores. What stats are kept in this endgame? I gained 7 food from forest actions. Yeah, it had to have been like 4 actions. By far the most eggs from grassland actions. Fewest card draws from the wetland action, because I was tucking and redrawing a lot. Yeah. Thanks for the stream. You are welcome. Do more of the Wingspan. We'll see. I've started to get burned out on it, so. Yeah, so the 4th round bonus is sets of eggs in each habitat. So every time you have 1 egg in the forest, 1 egg in the grassland, 1 egg in the wetland, that counts as 1 set. So I had 6 in the forest, 7 in the grassland, and 6 in the wetland, so I had 6 full sets. And that 6 is what gets compared. So yeah, that is a Wingspan game in substitution for the Agricola game that didn't finish. And yeah, I've fallen a bit. I was over 500 briefly and like 4th place in Arena, but I had some really unlucky games when I was already feeling a little burned out, and that did not make it more fun. I do feel like I've more or less mastered the base game, so there isn't like a ton of intellectual challenge for me anymore when I've been in most of the situations already and kind of just know how to make an engine when I can. Yeah. Alright, as I said earlier, the reason I can't do any more here is because I have work soon. And unfortunately, I'm not really seeing anyone to raid. So I'm just gonna end it here. Thanks all for watching. Again, sorry we couldn't get Agricola here. But I'll be back on Thursday for Agricola. If I don't see you then, I'll see you some other future stream. Take care, everyone. See you next time. Bye.